let's actually do a review of this. I've had it for like 3 days, but done a lot of washing through it. So let's see what it's like then. This was purchased in 2002 by the previous owner. I'm pretty sure it was out for a couple of years anyway, between sort of 99/2000 till about 2002-3 or something like that. So this came out obviously before the Nextras and the Visions took over after. It's quite a rare machine, this. So I got this because actually this machine is quite significant because as a kid, by then I was probably, I was still a kid because I was probably about 10, 9, 10, going through Currys, and you got to the end of the line of washing machines as they go more and more expensive as you walk up and whatever, and you've got this Hoover Interact here. Just before the Dyson was placed on its own plinth with the Zanussi FC1100 round the back of that same Dyson. Anyway, this was here. Oh, on the opposite side as well of the next lane was then like LG with the LG like direct drive kind of demonstration thing. But yeah, that is literally 2002 for me. This was a big thing because this had 29 programs, and to me it's like 29 programs on a washing machine. It's like, wow, most washing machines only had like 12 or 15 at most. This had 29, and what was more like a bit baffling, I suppose, as a bit of a kid, is that the fact that if you look at it, it's got like 60 like fair, like it says 95/40, 60/30, 40 to color. So it repeats itself a bit. You've got 11 programs for cottons and 6 for synthetics and 3 for delicates and all that. It's quite a lot until you actually grow up and a bit older and you actually manage to get the hold of the machine and still realise it's still quite far advanced for its age anyway and still had a lot anyway for its time. Just that it's maybe been able to condense it down a bit. Anyway, it might look a little bit different to what it would have done back in its day because the heat shield is not on. Yeah, this had a heat shield, but I've obviously taken it off because otherwise you just cannot see through there at all, basically. With this very bright light, you might be able to see something, but in actual normal day-to-day use, all you see occasionally is a bit of white foam just bobbing around on top of the water. You don't actually see your laundry going around. That's not broken. That's just been... I've took the door off and undone it all. Anyway, let's take a look then. So, actually, I'll start at the bottom here. So, we've got a kick plate. That kick plate can come off, and there is a filter behind there. But we've also got rust here, and quite a large patch of rust. Also, I've noticed that actually the cabinet is yellowing a little bit here. Although this is still pretty white in comparison to the AAA160 Quattro that I got, which is the slightly older model of this. Essentially, it's the same machine, with less options and less programs. More into that in a minute. So we've got rust forming. Very normal, I suppose, for this 18. It is an 18-year-old machine, so what do you kind of expect, I suppose? An 18-year-old Hoover. And then we'll take a look at the top control panel here. So, it's sort of kind of all split out a little bit here. We've got our Hoover red actual proper badge here. We've got Hoover written out on the drawer. We've got the Majesty's stamp printed there. Always for vacuum cleaners. Oh, and laundry equipment. Well, bear in mind that this isn't a proper British Hoover. It's made by Candy. Because by that point, it's been 10 years down the line. 8 years. But yeah. So, we've got our word 6 and Whisper 1600. But this is the bit that interests me. It's the fact you've got these. Let me just show you. So, there we go. So, if we zoom in. So it says there we've got heavy cottons 95/40, normal cottons 60/30, and light cottons 40 to cold. Then we've got heavy synthetics, 60 degrees to 40 degrees. And then acrylics, 40 degrees to cold. And delicates, 40 degrees to cold. And then we've got wool, 40 degrees to cold. And then we had these special programs. Now, this is something quite remarkable, I suppose, because by this point, there wasn't actually any special programs on the market. Very few manufacturers had them. Hoover is one, and my Siemens IQ did. I was another. Other than that, you didn't actually have any special programs. So we've got a sportswear program, hand wash program, and a speed wash program. Obviously, speed wash / quick wash was available on lots of machines, but hand wash, it's never really been seen before. The only other wash machine that now had this on the market at the time was the Hotpoint WMAs. They had hand wash. And Zanussi's. Actually, come to think of it, quite a lot of machines were having hand wash by this point. Sportswear, though, is its unique program. But more unique is the fact that you've got different kind of like heavy soil, normal soil, and light soil. Heavy synthetics, acrylics, which is also normal synthetics, basically. So you've got different kind of soil levels built within it. That's not really heard of. The only thing that did that was the Dyson. I'm just thinking, yeah, just a Dyson, because even like Miele, even Siemens and Miele didn't have them. They would give you an option to kind of change it, but the Hoover had options, and on one of those options we had express wash. So not only could we change the soil level, we can make it quicker if we wanted to. This saves, it says up to about 50 minutes. In reality, every single time you press it, it saves about more like 20 minutes, really. 25 minutes. I suppose it depends on the size of the load, depending on how fast, depending on how much time it actually saves. We've also got this button here, which is the 6. I'm going to switch it on. So, but we'll come to this in a minute. Right, so we've got, it looks like we've got 8 options here, but we haven't. We've got 5. We've got the 6 kilogram wash, which can be selected on the cotton cycles. So that's programs 1 to 11. And what this does, it will increase time and add more water to allow you to wash 6 kilo instead of 5 kilo. If you don't have it on, you naturally can wash up to 5 kilo. Express wash saves time. About it says up to 50 minutes. Reality is about 20-25 minutes. Pre-wash is really good on Hoovers and always has been. This one's a proper 30 to 40 degree pre-wash before the main program. So what this tends to do, it will sense the load first within the pre-wash, then run around a 25-minute actual wash. So the actual overall pre-wash is around 35 to 40 minutes. And then obviously it reduces slightly on the main wash because the main wash is no longer actually detecting the load size. So it adds on around 25 minutes. Extra rinse doesn't actually add on rinses, it ups the amount of water within the rinse. Oh, I think it does actually add 1 rinse on. I think it adds on rinse and it does actually heighten the rinse level. If you don't have it on, the rinse level is quite low actually. It's a bit disappointing. So you kind of need it on all the time, really. Then we've got select spin. You can have, you can change the spin speed with this button. And you lower it in 100 RPM steps. So we've got 1600, 1500, and then 100 steps to, and then it gets to 600 RPM. And then if I press it again, it goes to no spin. Disappointingly though, no spin doesn't actually, doesn't just do drain only between the cycles and then moves on. It actually just sort of drains only and just sits there for the entire spin. Well, supposedly. I just tested it out on the spin-only program, set it to no spin, and it just sat there for 8 minutes. bit disappointing. And then the other option we got is fast iron. Now it's not selectable on cottons. Or if we turn to synthetics, fast iron is available between programs 12 all the way through to 23. It says 29 in the book, but it's not, because 29 is all the way around here. Fast iron can be selected between with synthetics, delicates, woolens, and the hand wash cycle, not any others. But the way fast iron works on the synthetics is that you will do a very short, slow final spin, so much so that your laundry is practically soaking wet when it comes out. However, on delicates and woolens, it acts just as more like a rinse hold function. So on the final rinse, it will end with the drum full of water and you close with in it, and then you can just press start to continue to do the drain and final spin phase when you're ready to. So that's how they work. We've also got two options here. So we've got program lock. If we press program lock, it locks out the keyboard, so you can't even start a cycle or anything. This is pretty good. It's a bit annoying now because you can actually just switch it off by turning off the machine and back on again. But we can also cancel it that way as well. Anyway, we've also got delay start. And this works in two ways with the machine. Now, so, this is our display at the top. It displays any point what the program is we're selecting, what the spin speed is, the temperature, and whether it's heavy, normal, or light soil program. But it also has a time display in it when we press start. Anyway, this is where delay start comes in. If we press start once, we can set the end. So program start at 8, for example. We can even add on 10-minute segments, look, with our minute button. It looks like it continues up as well. If we want to cancel the delay, we have to press and hold the delay button for 5 seconds. And that will return it. If we want to select start time instead, we can do it by pressing delay start twice. Program end at 2:30. Oh, and we have to be quick enough. So you have to be quick enough when setting the delay start, otherwise it will just return. So if we press it twice. So we want program end, and then you can select when you want it to end at. That's what start at. End at 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. And as you also notice, it's currently 7 minutes past whatever. That's odd though, because the time hasn't saved itself since I set it. Annoying. Alright, turn it back on. Why is it 7 minutes past midnight? I don't know why, because the time has already been set once. It just for some reason hasn't saved it. Annoying, Hoover. So if we want to load the machine up, we have to open a door. You open the door by pressing this button here, marked door. You'll have to push it quite a bit as it's sprung loaded. And then we can load up with clothes that we need to wash. So So I ain't gonna put off full load in because there's something else I want to show you with this machine. So this is our detergent compartment at the top here. We have our pre-wash, main wash, and our fabric softener. Now the fabric softener actually has a grate that goes over it, but that is currently missing by the previous owner that had this. So we're going to put some powder detergent in there. And I'm going to put some fabric softener in the middle. Just a drop. So we're going to select our program. So we want program 5. We want the express wash. And then to start the program, we press start. So the final thing I want to show you before with this load is that it has a load sensor built into it, and it can sense up to about 4 or 5 different load sizes. So if you put like a handful of items in, like a couple of tea towels, it will select one load size, put half a load in, it'll select another size, put a full load in, obviously it will run at the full time. This time is for the full size load, so it's always going to end up being less than what it says. Pretty sure it also has a temperature sensor in, because I find that with delicates and woolens, they were both a lot quicker than what they said they were at the start, and bearing in mind that they don't have a load sensor on them. Have a look then. That's nice. They smell really good even with the amount of fabric softener I actually put in. But the thing is, and this is why it's going to be a little bit of a weird one. You see, the way the load sense works on this is pretty good. If it has a small load in, it will actually do one less rinse than normal. But the trouble is with a full load, the lower water levels on the rinse mean that you end up with kind of poor results. So, it's one of them really. In terms of actual like washing and rinsing and spinning ability, it's a bit of a weird one. 1600 spins good and really good actually, but the washing ability is pretty good actually. It's okay for the machine. Rinsing ability, it's a bit hit and miss. It's all over the place. Not really, not. It can be brilliant sometimes and poor the other times. I'm going to give this out of 10 then. It's going to get 7 out of 10. Because the other trouble I have with this machine is the fact it's called Whisper. And yet it's still got a standard motor on it. So it's actually no quieter than other Hoovers. Yeah. It weighs a lot as well. The other thing I don't like about it, and actually it's a bit disappointing in that sense, is that the old Quattro had a jet. And now they've just got rid of the jet. Because the whole Quattro system, the whole point of the Quattro is also to do with the load system, how it detects the different loads. Because it was sort of first introduced in about 1996, and that's carried over to this as well. And it's very, very, very good to the Quattro system. But it's just the fact then all of a sudden, well, we got Whisper, which isn't Whisper. The one thing I do like this machine quite a lot. It's just not. It's just in weird senses, like the fact it lies to you by saying it's Whisper, or the fact that the power jet's missing. Really, it should be put on. The seal actually is on it, ready to have a hole put through for the jet. The little thing in it. It's just not there. Cool. So there you are. I love it and hate it at the same time. I love it because it's not perfect. Right, thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon. If you liked this video, don't forget to like it, comment and subscribe for more videos like this.